Hey, Miss Shannon, welcome back to 16 News Now. I want to take you to the tropics real quick, just to give you an update on Hurricane Lee. Currently now down to a Category 2, winds of 105 miles an hour. Still expected Lee is going to strengthen over the next couple of days. Getting up to that Category 4 status, about 140 mile an hour winds around that Monday morning. So we're going to be keeping an eye out. Luckily, it doesn't look like it's going to be affecting the Gulf Coast anytime soon. There's a large scale pattern that's going to be pushing Lee up to the north, although the very long range, I'm talking like next week, the beginning of next week, it does look like it could try to impact the eastern seaboard, but still very long distance. It could easily be turned away and back into the Atlantic as well. So we're going to be keeping an eye on it over the next couple of days just to see what Lee does. Now back in our area, nothing really about going on. Temperatures are quite comfortable. Most of us sitting in the 50s, a little of those warmer areas sitting in those low 60s, like Elkhart sitting at 60 degrees right now. But overall, it's a nice quiet end to our day. Temperatures are going to be getting a little bit cooler as well as we get to our overnight. Those temperatures reaching into the low 50s for most of us. Could see some 40s try to sprinkle in there as well, but temperatures expected to rebound into those upper 60s by around noon and continuing into the 70s, into those upper 70s by the time we get to that warmest time of our day. Now tomorrow's also a big deal, well, because we got football back, the professional kind. We're going to have more on both this and also college coming up in just a few minutes, but I do want to go over some of their local games. Sitting right now over across Indianapolis, they're taking on Jacksonville, 1 o'clock. It's going to be beautiful out there across Indiana. Temperatures in the upper 70s around game time, looking at mostly clear conditions. The Bears, they're inviting in the Green Bay Packers a little bit later in the day, around 4:25. Those temperatures also sitting around pretty close to the same, partly cloudy skies. So just a few more clouds in Chicago. Now, the defending NFC champions, the Eagles, they're going to be actually taking their way over to New England. Temperatures a little bit cooler in Massachusetts, around 76. And the only game where the fans will have a difficulty will be out toward Minnesota, where the Tampa Bay is going to be playing around 1 o'clock. There could be a little bit of rain. Luckily, the game itself in a dome, so they won't have to worrying about that for the game itself, just those fans getting soggy. Now, back in our region, not seeing much of that sogginess for today. Now, as we get into the afternoon, temperatures will reach into the 70s, but as we get into our Monday, rain's going to start pushing through in that morning, continue into the afternoon, and even into the late part of our Tuesday. So keep an eye out. We could get a little decent, little dousing. We could actually use that. We're not sitting in drought conditions, but you have noticed it's getting a little dustier out there. We're still seeing that. I know my car definitely needs to get cleaned off. It's been collecting a little bit of that dust over the past couple of days. So a little bit of rain, definitely could use it. Those rain chances will be pretty prevalent both Monday and Tuesday. Because of that, we're actually looking at the cooler air to really filter us down with temperatures in the 60s in the afternoon and lows in the 40s. So we're going to be pretty chilly for that midweek. Of course, we are expecting to rebound those temperatures as we head into our next weekend. Could get a little bit soggy for the Notre Dame game. We're going to be taking on, I believe it's going to be Eastern Tennessee. No, not Eastern Tennessee. It's Eastern Michigan for this Saturday. So we might be a little bit soggy here in South Bend, but those temperatures expected to dwindle back down into the extended forecast into our next work week. Of course, looking at those temperatures staying at or below average for the entirety of the 10-day. Hey, speaking of football, Drew Sanders is going to have more talking about that Notre Dame win. Don't go anywhere. He's going to give you everything you know about the sports.